This is Marcy. I heard that you are falling back into the victim mindset again. I heard that you're sitting in your bed all day, feeling sorry for yourself, and oh my God, life is so unfair to me. Honey, no one cares. Nobody's coming to save you. And in this video, I will tell you everything you need to do to snap out of that mindset. Hi guys, my name is Liz and welcome back to my channel. Okay, let's get into it. First things first. I'm gonna tell you something right now that is gonna change your consciousness and it's gonna change the way you look at life, so be ready. Listen to me. This mug over here, someone had to imagine this mug in their head in order to put it into the physical realm, okay? So this is an imagination of someone. You going to your job. Your job is your boss's imagination. He imagined a company that he wanted to create and then he put it into the physical realm. So you're basically working at your boss's imagination. Countries are not real. We all imagine collectively a border. That's not there. It's just Earth, okay? Everything is Earth, but we imagine that those countries are separated. Money. We imagine that paper or the amount you have in your bank is worth that much. But it isn't. And if tomorrow the big corporation banks say that, hey, listen, the money you have in your account or the cash that you have is not worth anything, it's not. So basically everything we have in life is just an imagination. That means we're living in a dream. That means we're living in an imagination. And that means we're living in whatever you want to call it, the matrix, a game, whatever. Now bear with me, okay? The people in your life, let's say for example, in my life, my sister, okay? Who is my sister? The only person that I know as my sister is my perception of her, is the character that I created of her in my reality. But if I ask right now to my mother, hey mom, who is my sister? She will give me a completely different answer. Because in my mother's reality, she created a different version of my sister. The same way when you have a relationship, right? And you think, I'm gonna get married to this guy, whatever. But then one day, all of a sudden, he does something to you, he cheats or whatever, and you're completely like shocked. And then you say you're heartbroken. You're not heartbroken, you're ego broken. Your ego had imagined something. You imagined you had a future with this person, but it was not reality. Because honey, the only thing that's promised in life is that we will die. But other than that, nothing is promised. You can never know, never, even your own mother, you can never know how they will act. We basically imagine everything we do. We imagine our future. We dwell on the past, which also doesn't exist. Future, past doesn't exist. Only this moment is what we have. So if we start to realize that, wait a minute, we're kind of crazy. We live our whole life imagining stuff and thinking that it will happen a certain way and then it doesn't. What can we do with that? We can realize that we're the creator of our life. We can realize that we can create this dream or this imagination however we want it to be. Right now, if you decide, I never want to see the Wizard Liz again, you can never watch my videos again, you can never watch my content again, and I will not exist in your imagination anymore. Same way, if you choose to walk away from a toxic partner, toxic friend, even your abusive household, these people don't exist in your imagination anymore, and in fact, you will create a whole different reality and a whole different dream. Because now you will meet other people, new characters in your imagination. How do I want to create my game, my dream? How do I want my imagination to look like? Who do I allow into my imaginations? How do I behave? Who am I? What does my character look like? Let's go to the second part, which is being a victim makes you feel safe. See, being a victim is the most comfortable thing there is because you don't have to do much. You don't have to do much. You know what your life is? This is your life. Your life is a circle. Everything just keeps moving the same way in the same circle. But this is comfortable for you. You know why? Because you know what is going to happen in the circle. You know everything. You don't have to take risks. You don't have to deal with different people. You know, okay, your partner is abusive, but at least you know him and at least you know what he's gonna do. I can tell you already right now, a lot of people watching this will not do that or take that leap of faith in life. Because you guys are not brave enough. And I'm saying this truly from my own life and from my own perspective. This takes guts, you know, and everyone wants to blame everyone. You want to blame your trauma, you want to blame capitalism, you want to blame society. At the end, you will be left with no one to blame but yourself. Your life is shit because of you. I remember I used to sit all day in my room crying about why my life was shit and blah blah, and oh my god, my father abused me, blah blah. You think that anyone cared? No. You know when they care? When you get out of it. When your life becomes a success story. David Goggins is not David Goggins without his success. No one would care if he was still the same guy before. They would just look at him and be like, whatever guy, like shut up, you know, everyone has problems. But now he's an inspiration because he turned his life around. No one will care about any of you guys. You guys are sitting in your victim mindset. Someone might listen to you and be like, I feel a little bit bad for you. But everyone moves on with their life. You will be left behind. No one is going to save you. You know why? Because no one can save you. The only person that can save you is you. No one is going to make you change. Growth is not easy, okay? Growth is not easy. Growth is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Every time you learn something, it's 2 steps forward because now you have more knowledge, but then if you put it into practice, it will be 1 step back because you're not used to acting like this, okay? But you still have to continue though. If you give up, once you feel like, oh, this got uncomfortable, oh, this is too much for me, if you give up right there, you'll be right back where you started. And we want to move, honey. Stop abusing yourself by being in the same circle that you don't like. Stop abusing yourself by being the same person that you don't like. Look into the mirror, honey. We don't have anyone to blame. You don't have anyone to blame. But see, as a victim, it's easy to run away again. It's easy to be like, oh, I tried. You didn't try, and you didn't try hard enough. Try again until you get there. Another thing is some of you are genuinely addicted to drama, okay? And you have to realize this. A lot of people, when they come out of an abusive household, they will think like later in life, like, hey, it's too peaceful, it's too quiet. So what do? They start to attract people that will give them that toxicity again, because this is the only thing they knew. This is what they grew up with, okay? Realize that you're the creator of that drama though. You can choose to have a peaceful life. You can choose to just have peaceful people around you. And if you can't find peaceful people, just be peaceful on your own for a while until you find someone that makes you feel peaceful too. But see, you don't want to do that because you want to feel that adrenaline again. There is something in there that you're still attracted to. So you need to work on that. Stop creating drama when it was never meant for you. Stop involving yourself in things that were never meant for you. Stop watching things that are so dramatic. And now you feel like you're inside of that drama too. No, honey. And also realize that you have control. You have control who comes into your life. You have control about who you date. You have control about what you watch, what you listen to, what you read. You have control over these things. Yet if you wake up every morning and you decide to open the news and it's all negative and now your day is bad, don't blame the news. Blame your eyes and blame your hands for putting that on. My friends are so toxic. My partner's so toxic. We constantly fight, this and that. Why don't you start looking at why you allow them in? Why don't you start looking at, don't I have control who I allow into my life? Why don't you start looking at you? And why don't, honey, why don't you start looking at what is it in me that I don't feel worthy of enough of having people that actually respect me? Notice what part you play in life, you know? You can cry all day about, oh, I'm overweight, oh, I'm too skinny. Are you actually doing something to fix that, or are you just crying all day? Really ask yourself, what am I actually doing in order to fix my life? I wake up and what do? Do you go on social media and that's it? You scroll all day and then you're like, oh, my life is shit. Society is bad. No, like honestly, you're just not good enough. I think it's funny because when I talk about it, people want to talk about pretty privilege and stuff. I don't get it because you want to cry about pretty privilege when there's people accomplishing more than you, okay, that are maybe not as good looking, or they don't even have hands or feet and they're still living their life. Sometimes you have to accept your situation for what it is. And if you think that you're so goddamn ugly, do something about your face. Watching this documentary about transgender people in Thailand, this guy who was earning no money, he had saved for 4 years so he could get gender operation. And he was so happy. But imagine he worked 4 years of it and he achieved it, which he went to a terrible doctor, by the way, a doctor that basically gave him like no anesthesia. He was like awake during the surgery and stuff. But still, he was willing to risk his life to just have the surgery. When someone wants something so badly, they will get it done anyways. Crackheads, every single day, they have a way to get crack, you know? Like, okay, I know that's not a good example and stuff, but still, they don't complain about society. They don't say, oh, I don't have a job. No, they find a way to get money and they buy their crack because that's what they want. Go from complaining, go to gratitude, you know? I saw this DM message that said like, yeah, but capitalism, like Liz, you live in a bubble because of capitalism. We can't achieve anything, this and that, blah, blah. I didn't come from money. I came from a very abusive childhood and I was an immigrant and I still turned my life around, okay? Because I turned my mindset around. I had a plan. If I didn't do that and if I didn't set my mind on my plan and if I didn't focus on the plan, I would have been sitting in my mom's bedroom all day still crying with no money. This day and age is also the easiest way to make money online. Your parents didn't have that privilege. I wouldn't want to be in my mother's shoes, for example, surviving a whole war, almost having a bullet to her head, having to flee a country, starting from zero. Your university degrees don't mean anything anymore. Now start from zero, learn a new language, and go clean toilets to make a living. You guys are sitting on your high horse and you're so privileged, you know? And you want to talk about people in North Korea? Talk about them. Talk about them because they won't be able to see this video because they don't have access to the internet. But you do. I just want someone that stands in front of a crowd that says like, everything is going to be okay. I want world peace, when in fact there's never going to be world peace because we need the good and the bad in order to keep the world in balance. That's how the world works. They just lie to you and they give you this false image and then they just move on with their life. They get their private jet and they go back home. You start from going from complaining to gratitude, the more your life will change. Because now look, if I, for example, want to attract like a bigger thing, like how do I attract it? By feeling already satisfied with what I have, by being grateful for what I have. That's how I feel fulfilled. That's how I will feel rich, okay? But someone that has all these things already and has the biggest luxuries, but every day he doesn't feel like he has it, they will always feel poor. It's a mindset. If you constantly look at what isn't there instead of what is, you will create more of that. So the more you complain, you will create more of the lack. If you're constantly looking out for a yellow car in the street, you will see yellow cars everywhere, okay? So if you're in your house looking around like, oh, I don't have this TV, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Yeah, honey, you will have more of what you don't have. Things being stuck in the past does not exist. You know, you have to come to a point where you accept your past and you know that everything that happened has happened. And now you start working on yourself because it doesn't exist. The only moment you have is now, you know. Same way with dwelling on the future. Oh, I want my future to look like that. Oh, no. But what are you doing now? You know, how are you behaving now? Because how you are now will determine your future and not the other way around. So look at the ways you sabotage yourself. You know, what in your life are you doing that sabotages you? You have to ask yourself these things. Write it down. Write down. In what ways am I self-sabotaging myself? For example, I self-sabotage myself by doing too much for people, okay? Because I always am depleted and I always feel like I have no energy left anymore. And I don't even need to do those things. I don't even need to take care of those people. I know where it's actually coming from because ever since I was young, I thought that I would have to take care of my mother and protect my mother. So now this translates in every single person in my life. See, now that I know, it's something that I can work on. I can't say like, oh, I'm always left depleted because I act this way. No, I know from where this comes. So now I have to work on that and not repeat these mistakes. Imagine I have a child right now and I start abusing my child physically. And then I say to you guys, oh yeah, but my father used to do that to me, so I'm the victim of that, so that's why I do this. You guys are going to look at me and be like, no, Liz, this is your responsibility, and you guys are going to blame me, and rightfully so. I am the one to be blamed, okay? It's not fair what happened to me, but whatever I do with it next is on me and no one else. In life, when you don't take care of yourself first, you cannot show up as the best mother, the best daughter, the best even employee or boss. You cannot show up. Because you're depleted, you don't feel good, you're depressed. It's going to show up in every other relationship of your life. If you want to perform the best you want to be for others, then you should think about you first and nurturing you first so you're happy. I think first making sure that you're good and then showing up for everyone else is the most selfless thing. So stop thinking it's selfish. You have to put yourself first right now. If you don't feel good in life, if you feel like, oh, my life is not going anywhere, it's okay to take a step back from everyone and focus on you. Focus on nurturing you. Honey, no one is going to take care of you. No one is going to come to save you. I'm telling you this. No one is coming. The only person that is going to save you now is you. You deserve everything you want in life and anything. And you can get it once you set your mind to it. Stop listening to people that have no clue about life. Stop taking advice from people that you don't even want to share lives with. These people are miserable themselves. And what if you had like a parent or whatever tell you that, oh, whatever, this is how life's supposed to be.